Janelle Brown's tragic car accident sends shockwaves through Sister Wives' world. Hello friends, I am Elena, welcome to my channel. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Janelle Brown, one of Kody Brown's longtime spiritual wives and a central figure in the reality series Sister Wives, has recently been at the center of heartbreaking headlines. According to confirmed reports and insider sources, Janelle was involved in a devastating car accident that has left her family, friends, and fans in deep sorrow. The aftermath of the crash has taken a tragic turn. Her life ended suddenly, leaving an unfillable void and shaking the Sister Wives universe to its core. Janelle, always known for her strength, independence, and resilience, had been navigating life post-separation from Kody with grace and determination. She had been focusing on her personal well-being, her children, and building a life outside of the plural marriage dynamic. Her journey had inspired many fans who watched her transformation from a quiet, steady presence to a bold, self-assured woman. But all of that progress came to a tragic halt with the accident that claimed her life. The accident reportedly occurred on a rural highway outside Flagstaff, Arizona, an area familiar to Sister Wives viewers. According to preliminary investigations, Janelle was driving alone after visiting one of her daughters when her vehicle collided head-on with another car. The impact was severe. First responders arrived quickly, but Janelle was pronounced dead at the scene due to critical injuries. The other driver involved was injured but survived. Authorities have not released full details, and an investigation into what caused the crash is ongoing. Whether it was a case of distracted driving, mechanical failure, or an unforeseen roadway hazard is yet to be determined. However, the heartbreak surrounding Janelle's death is immediate and profound. As news of the accident spread, fans and cast members reacted with disbelief. The Brown family, already fractured due to years of emotional distance and complex relationship dynamics, is now confronting something none of them were prepared for: loss through death, not just through separation or divorce. Kody Brown, despite his strained relationship with Janelle in recent years, reportedly broke down upon receiving the news. Sources close to the family say he was inconsolable, expressing deep regret over unresolved tensions and his inability to repair their bond before it was too late. For years, Kody and Janelle had shared a respectful, albeit sometimes distant, relationship. Even in separation, there remained a quiet hope among some viewers that the two might someday reconcile as co-parents and friends. That possibility is now gone forever. Robin Brown, Kody's remaining legal wife, also expressed sorrow, calling Janelle's death unreal and unbearable. Despite the friction that existed between the wives in recent seasons, there was once a sisterhood that tied them all together. Robin acknowledged that they all shared life, children, and spiritual history, and that Janelle's presence was deeply felt even in silence. Christine Brown, who had maintained a close friendship with Janelle, was among the first to release a public statement. Through tears and visible grief, Christine said that Janelle was a sister, a friend, and the strongest woman I knew. Christine also expressed devastation for Janelle's children, especially the younger ones who had leaned on their mother as a source of unwavering support. Janelle leaves behind 6 children: Logan, Madison, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah, each at different stages of their lives. Garrison's passing earlier in the year had already placed emotional strain on the family, and now the loss of their mother threatens to shatter the fragile framework holding the Brown siblings together. Children are leaning on each other and close friends as they attempt to process another catastrophic blow. For Sister Wives fans, this moment marks a grim turning point. Janelle had become a symbol of reclaiming self-worth, of choosing dignity over dysfunction, and of living authentically after decades in a plural marriage that no longer served her. Viewers admired how she handled her separation with maturity and how she prioritized her kids over cameras. Her tragic end has not only saddened audiences but has stirred broader discussions about the fragility of life, even for those in the public eye. TLC, the network behind Sister Wives, released an official statement expressing condolences and promising to honor Janelle's memory. Producers confirmed that they had recently been in touch with Janelle about new filming plans centered on her life post-Kody. Those plans, unfortunately, will now remain incomplete. The outpouring of love and grief from fans has been overwhelming. Social media has flooded with tribute messages, old clips of Janelle's most powerful moments, and expressions of heartbreak. Fans are calling for a special memorial episode dedicated entirely to her, not only to celebrate her life but to give audiences the closure they deserve after following her journey for over a decade. Beyond the public response, the Brown family is reportedly struggling with internal turmoil. Cody's remaining relationships, especially with his children, have been under extreme tension for years. Janelle's death could either further divide the family or serve as a painful catalyst for healing. Some believe that the immense grief might prompt Cody to make amends with his estranged children, especially those he shared with Janelle. Others fear that the damage is too deep, and the loss will only deepen existing rifts. Janelle's legacy, however, will not be defined solely by tragedy. She was a trailblazer in her own right, a woman who stood for quiet strength, who chose peace over conflict, and who modeled how to walk away from relationships that no longer serve growth. Her life story was marked by complexity but also by incredible grace. As the Sister Wives community mourns this unimaginable loss, one thing is certain: Janelle Brown's presence will continue to inspire. Her voice, her decisions, and her legacy will echo beyond the screen. In the quiet moments she gave viewers, in her strength during interviews, and in her unshakable commitment to her children, Janelle made a lasting impression. Her death is not just a loss for reality TV. It is a loss for anyone who found hope in her strength. A mother, a sister wife, a warrior, and now a memory that will never fade. The Sister Wives family is reeling from a devastating loss that has shaken them to their core. Dayton Brown, the eldest son of Robin Brown, has tragically passed away, leaving behind a trail of grief, disbelief, and unanswered questions. The news hit the public with immense force, sending waves of sorrow across the fanbase of the long-running reality series. Dayton, who had been a quiet but constant presence in Robin's household, is now being remembered with heartbreak and reverence by both his family and viewers alike. Dayton Brown was known among fans as the intelligent and gentle soul in Robin's family. Born from Robin's previous marriage before she joined the Sister Wives family, Dayton was later embraced by Cody Brown, who legally adopted him along with his two sisters, Aurora and Brianna. Dayton's calm demeanor, deep love for his family, and ambition to succeed academically made him stand out. He had often been portrayed as a protective older brother, especially close to his mother, Robin, with whom he shared a particularly strong emotional bond. The heartbreaking news of Dayton's passing has reportedly left Robin in a state of emotional devastation. Sources close to the family reveal that Robin has withdrawn from public view, seeking solitude and privacy to process the pain. Dayton was not just her firstborn. He was her emotional anchor, someone she leaned on during difficult times, especially in the midst of the family's public challenges and shifting dynamics with Cody. The exact circumstances surrounding Dayton's passing have not been made public yet. Out of respect for the family's privacy, many details remain confidential, but it is understood that his death was sudden and unexpected. Some insiders suggest that the family had been worried about Dayton's well-being in recent months, though no official confirmation or cause of death has been disclosed at this time. Cody Brown, the patriarch of the family, has been described as heartbroken, despite his previously distanced relationship with many of his children. While Cody and Robin had been under scrutiny for appearing isolated from the rest of the family in recent seasons, the loss of Dayton appears to have shaken Cody deeply. Those close to the situation say that Cody is struggling to offer Robin the support she needs, while also trying to make sense of his own grief. The other sister wives, Mary, Janelle, and Christine, have also reportedly reached out in support. While their relationships with Robin have been strained, a tragedy of this magnitude has a way of cutting through past resentments. Christine Brown, in particular, is believed to have spoken privately with Robin to offer condolences, despite their long-standing differences. The shared history and experiences among the wives, especially those involving their children, have created a complex but deeply human bond that remains even in the wake of separation. Dayton had not been as active on screen in recent seasons, but those who followed the show from the beginning remember his early appearances as a young boy trying to adapt to a blended and very public family. In his teenage years, he had been open about some of his personal challenges, including being on the autism spectrum. Still, he had worked hard to build a future, attending college and pursuing his interests with quiet determination. He was known to be incredibly close to his siblings, particularly Aurora and Brianna, who are reportedly shattered by his passing. Fans of Sister Wives have taken to social media in droves to express their sorrow and condolences. Thousands of heartfelt messages have poured in, expressing sympathy, love, and shock. Many longtime viewers feel they watched Dayton grow up and feel a deep connection to his story. The suddenness of the tragedy has left many speechless, and the collective mourning is a reflection of how embedded the Brown family has become in the lives of their audience. Though the family has not released a formal public statement beyond a brief message thanking fans for their prayers and support, it is believed that a memorial service will be held privately in Flagstaff, Arizona, where Robin and Dayton had most recently been living. It's uncertain if cameras will be present or if TLC, the network behind Sister Wives, will address the tragedy on future episodes. Dayton's death marks a turning point for the Brown family. The loss of a child is unimaginable, and for Robin, this may be the hardest moment she has ever faced. Insiders describe her home as filled with sorrow and silence, her other children struggling to understand how life will move forward without their brother. Robin has always been fiercely protective of her children, often shielding them from the spotlight. Now, with Dayton gone, she faces a grief that no amount of privacy or distance can ease. There are also concerns about how this loss will affect the already fragile structure of the Sister Wives family. For years, the family's unity has been breaking down, with multiple divorces, separations, and emotional rifts playing out on screen. This tragedy might either draw them closer or finalize the emotional detachment many have already felt. Some family friends hope that Dayton's passing might be the event that heals some of the deep wounds within the Brown clan. While Robin processes her grief, fans and followers are urged to give the family space and compassion. Tragedies like this one transcend reality television and remind everyone that behind the fame, behind the drama, these are real people enduring real heartbreak. In loving memory of Dayton Brown, a son, a brother, and a young man whose life, though short, touched many. The Brown family may never be the same again, but the memory of Dayton will forever be carried in the hearts of those who knew and loved him. Kody Brown, the polarizing patriarch of the Sister Wives reality series, is once again at the center of attention, this time not for his controversial choices but for something far more subtle: his appearance. Fans are now raising concerns after spotting a recent photo of Kody in public that has set off alarm bells across social media platforms. What exactly is going on with Kody Brown's face? Viewers are convinced that this image reveals something far more serious than what's being shown on screen. Kody, now in his mid-50s, has been under pressure from all directions for years, emotionally, mentally, financially, and physically. But the latest photo of him that circulated online shows a side fans haven't seen before. In the image, Kody appears disoriented, aged beyond his years, and uncharacteristically gaunt. His usual energetic posture and wild-haired charisma have been replaced by a hollow look in his eyes, a tightened jawline, and a visible loss of weight. The response was immediate. Fans began speculating whether Kody might be facing a deeper health or emotional crisis. Many longtime followers of Sister Wives believe this could be the first visual evidence of the toll his fractured family life is taking. With 3 of his 4 spiritual marriages now effectively dissolved, Christine, Janelle, and Mary have all separated from him. Kody is left solely with Robin. This dramatic shift in his once proud polygamous lifestyle has undoubtedly shaken him, but now fans believe the consequences are visible in his physical form. Social media threads exploded with speculation. "He doesn't look well," one Reddit user wrote. "This isn't just stress. Something is really wrong here." Others noted that Kody's complexion appeared pale, his cheeks sunken, and his usual confident expression replaced by what one fan called a man who looks completely defeated. For a man who once prided himself on being the center of a large family unit, the decline is noticeable and unsettling. Some speculated that Kody might be dealing with health issues that he hasn't disclosed to the public. While Sister Wives producers tend to focus on family drama, The show has occasionally touched on medical issues in the past. However, there's been no mention of Cody experiencing any illness or decline. Could it be that he's hiding something? Or is the emotional fallout simply manifesting physically? Others believe the red flag isn't about health at all, but rather a sign of deeper psychological distress. Losing control of his family and the constant criticism from both the public and his children may have pushed Cody into a state of anxiety or depression. Fans have noticed he's been quieter in interviews, more hesitant in body language, and increasingly withdrawn. The photo, they say, confirms what's been brewing under the surface for seasons now. "I think this is a man who's finally realizing he can't fix what he's broken," another fan wrote on Facebook. "He looks like someone who's given up." The image has gone viral within the Sister Wives community, with side-by-side comparisons of Cody from earlier seasons versus the current picture showing a dramatic transformation. Psychologists and body language experts who follow celebrity behavior have weighed in as well. Dr. Lynn Carter, a licensed psychologist who frequently analyzes reality TV figures, commented, "When someone experiences significant emotional stress, their facial features can change. The eyes appear more sunken, posture becomes more rigid, and expressions tend to flatten. What we're seeing here is consistent with someone under long-term emotional strain." Interestingly, this facial transformation coincides with increasing isolation from his adult children. Since the passing of his son Garrison earlier this year, the emotional weight has been heavier than ever. Cody's relationships with his other children have also deteriorated, with many of them publicly criticizing his behavior and decisions. Fans believe that this is more than just a personal low point, it could be a critical turning point in Cody's life and role on Sister Wives. Viewers are now questioning whether he can continue to be the focal point of a show built around family, unity, and shared love when all of those elements have essentially collapsed around him. Additionally, some viewers are taking this red flag as a cue that TLC may soon shift the narrative of the show entirely. Cody is no longer mentally or physically able to carry the storyline forward. Producers might pivot toward the lives of the ex-wives and their children. In fact, Christine, Janelle, and even Mary have been gaining increasing attention for their independent stories and growing fan bases. For years, Cody commanded the center stage, but the recent image tells a different story. One of a man no longer in control, possibly no longer healthy, and maybe no longer relevant to the family he once led. Many now wonder if Cody himself is aware of how visible this change has become, or if he's still clinging to the remnants of a role he can no longer fulfill. In typical fashion, neither Cody nor TLC has issued a response to the viral photo or the growing concern from fans. But silence in this case only fuels speculation. Without reassurance or public acknowledgement, followers are left to draw their own conclusions. More than anything, the photo has struck a chord because it humanizes a man who for so long seemed distant and untouchable behind the reality TV curtain. Love him or hate him, Cody Brown has been a central figure in American reality television for over a decade. To see him looking worn, fragile, and possibly ill is jarring, even for those who have criticized his every move. The official story behind Janelle Brown's split from Cody Brown on Sister Wives was framed around mutual disconnection and growing apart, but those who followed the family closely believe the real story is much deeper, more emotional, and possibly far more troubling than what was shared on camera. For years, Janelle played the role of the steady, practical wife, the one who worked hard, kept her head down, and made things work. However, her departure from Cody didn't come out of nowhere, and it certainly wasn't just about distance or lack of affection as they tried to paint it on the show. The truth, as many fans have suspected, is that Janelle's decision was building up over several years, possibly even decades. While Sister Wives gave surface-level explanations, the real reason Janelle left Cody seems to revolve around deep-rooted resentment, feelings of betrayal, unequal treatment, and ultimately emotional neglect. The heart of the problem was Cody's shifting priorities. When the Brown family was first introduced to viewers, Cody seemed committed to balancing his relationships with his 4 wives, Mary, Janelle, Christine, and Robin. But as time went on, it became clear that Robin was taking up more of his emotional energy, attention, and time than the other wives combined. This left Janelle, a woman who always valued fairness and independence, feeling sidelined and abandoned. While Christine was the first to officially walk away, Janelle was absorbing the signs all along. Christine just acted faster. One of the biggest unspoken triggers for Janelle's departure was financial frustration. As one of the only wives consistently working and contributing income, Janelle often bore the brunt of supporting not just her kids but also helping sustain the broader family system. Over time, she began to feel that her efforts were not only unappreciated but also misused. The money that she earned and saved often went toward decisions she wasn't included in, like purchasing Robin's home or prioritizing Robin's needs over hers and her children's. For someone like Janelle, who values autonomy and contribution, this felt like a betrayal. Another key issue was parenting. Janelle is incredibly close to her children, particularly her sons, and the rift between Cody and some of the boys became too big to ignore. Cody's inability or refusal to reconcile with his sons hurt Janelle deeply. She began to see that his relationship with her children was conditional, distant, or strained, while he remained fully engaged in Robin's household. That lack of fatherly involvement or compassion pushed Janelle further toward the realization that she was essentially parenting alone, even though she was still legally and emotionally tied to a man who was supposed to be her partner. Then there's the emotional aspect. For years, Janelle put her emotional needs on the back burner. She wasn't overly romantic, and she often said she valued the partnership more than the love story. But over time, even that partnership began to unravel. Cody no longer involved her in family decisions, barely spent time with her, and increasingly spoke to her with condescension and detachment. When Christine left, Janelle saw firsthand what it looked like when a woman finally said, "Enough," and survived. Planted a seed. Christine's bold move gave Janelle permission to evaluate her own situation more critically. While Janelle never made a dramatic exit like Christine, her quiet strength and calm defiance spoke volumes. When she began to openly challenge Cody's logic during family discussions, it was clear she was no longer willing to just nod and go along with his choices. Her calm resistance wasn't just about disagreement, it was a sign that her loyalty to the idea of the family had weakened. Janelle wasn't just disagreeing with Cody, she was done fighting for a relationship that didn't feel mutual anymore. Also crucial in understanding Janelle's decision is the fact that her relationship with the other wives, particularly Robin, had deteriorated. While Janelle had always maintained a civil tone with all the wives, behind-the-scenes tension was undeniable. Robin had effectively become the primary wife, with Cody spending most of his time in her home, treating her children as the golden standard and ignoring the feelings and needs of his other wives. Janelle, who believes in fairness and equality, couldn't accept this new dynamic. The favoritism wasn't just hurtful, it was humiliating. It undermined